This is a message from your guides reading for Star Being, aka the Andromedan. Okay, so I have 5 crystals here, and I'm going to use my obsidian to surround you in some protective space. Okay, I don't feel like I need to surround myself. I must have already done that 15 times at least today. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of information coming through to your crown chakra. I feel like that's really busy, but in a positive way, it feels like. So there's a lot of positive, creative juices flowing there, energies from your guides coming in, and then it also just feels like your own higher mind. It does feel like you're having a bit of an easier time getting structured, you're a bit more focused, and I can definitely say your energy has really shifted. The energy from this picture, so different from the last one that you sent. Even the one that you sent right before you sent this one, and I mentioned your energy is somehow really different in this picture. So you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll send this other one. And you were saying you were around a lot of people. But it's actually just, no, your energy is like really, really shifted. Whether there's people around you or not, your energy just feels very, very shifted. Definitely in a very positive way. It feels much clearer. And there's energy coming towards your face that I'm seeing from your guide. And so it feels like your guides are getting a lot closer to your aura. They're able to they're able to get a lot closer to you with their energy. And so that suggests that it's less blocked. It's definitely more free and clear. It definitely has a higher vibration. I still feel like there is a little bit of fear and apprehension about the future. I feel like, especially in terms of finances, but I feel like I also feel like there is a peace about it. And I definitely feel like you're going to know what to do, and that's going to end up working itself out. Okay, they are kind of saying something else, but I'm not going to say that in the reading. So I think I'm just going to email you that part. Okay, so wow, what do I get into first? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go over the crystals, and then I have a couple other things that I should go over. Okay, so I have my selenite here. So this is, for this reading, for this reading, it feels like this is definitely referring to a clear connection that you have with your guides. So you have definitely been establishing a clearer and clearer connection with, it feels like a higher frequency in general, higher frequencies, just because you match them more. So whether it's your higher self, it's your guides, even ancestors, it feels like. But obviously ones who are on a little bit of a higher level, they've evolved a little more while they were out there. Not really lower energies or lower ancestors. You can definitely choose to stay on a lower vibration once you leave your form. Death does not mean that you just have all the answers or are suddenly more evolved than you were. But it feels like good energies around you. Okay, so I'll get into my other ones here. And I see your necklace in your picture. Wolf actually just bought one of those, like that one. Not going to say what crystal that is, because I don't think that you would want me to say that. Okay, so this is my obsidian. Did I say obsidian already? I think I already said obsidian. Okay, so deflecting energies. Why does it feel like higher purpose? Even in this picture, you're wearing black. That's a really, really good color for creating sacred space, for being in your own energy, your own power, your own personal space. I feel like that's a really good color for you. It feels like there's this idea, it's not actually that color. It's not necessarily that color. It feels like your guides are kind of referring to colors in general and kind of using them to enhance certain things. Like if there's a day where you're feeling kind of down or moody or angry or something or frustrated or whatever, for instance, you could wear like yellow, which is a solar plexus color, to like enhance confidence, self-esteem, joy, love, things like that. You could wear a throat chakra color if you need to be more calm or determined, and even kind of more focused or more creative. So, and then red. If like financial fears are coming up, or you want to feel more grounded and connected to the earth, or if there's fears coming up, you can wear red. Or another root chakra color. You could wear brown or something to do with the earth. Even green, but green is more obviously of a heart chakra color. But still, you can even use green as a kind of grounding color, especially brown and red. So higher energies, like you want to connect with your guides, clearing, things like that. This would be like white, even silver. They're saying gold, colors like this. And then black to connect to your feminine energies, your psychic abilities, your intuition, your creativity. You want to write something. Black is also a good color for things like that, not only deflecting energies. Okay, so I'm about to get into this other stuff. Okay, but I'll show you this one too. I have my smoky quartz here. So again, this has to do with clearing energies, protecting your space, psychic protection. Wow, the throat chakra. Again, well, I know this came up with you for last month, just because I remember that last month it came up really during everybody's. Everybody last month had a thing with the throat chakra. I was like, what the heck? And then all of a sudden recently, there have been some other readings too. Obviously not everyone, but there have been even other readings where people had a thing with the throat chakra. I literally named someone, well, I didn't name them, their guides did, the throat chakra. Somebody who didn't even have a Patreon reading. So I don't know what's going on with a lot of people having throat chakra issues coming up. Okay, my last one is my zoisite. So zoisite has a lot to do with trusting the universe, trusting the divine flow, letting go, and kind of like knowing that all will be well kind of thing, having that attitude, adopting that attitude, feeling calm, feeling tranquil and at peace. And also because it has to do with trusting the universe, it kind of feels like a sort of oneness with everything kind of vibration from that stone. Also grounding. It's very calming, it's green, it's healing. So heart chakra, grounding as well. And then the obsidian here. There are definitely some feminine energies with this obsidian coming in for this reading as well. And I'm dropping it. I don't feel like I'm going to put that back. I'm going to keep it there. I feel like this is a really good stone for you right now. It feels like obsidian or Apache's tear. This one that we bought definitely looks like an Apache's tear. Okay, so now I'll get into the other thing. So for Patreon, since I tend to do all of the readings or most of them in the same day, or I do them all in a couple of days, so obviously I'm going to be doing a lot of these readings today. So I did a circle, which was just kind of for everyone this time, and I've been playing this music. I thought, okay, what music is good for the group? And so I've been playing this meditation music off and on, which is like Native American, but it's all these various totem animals. And one song ended right before I brought your picture up. And so when I brought your picture up, all of a sudden the wolf starts playing. And I felt specifically like you had this totem coming in this week, a wolf totem. Again, this feels like a really psychic kind of feminine thing. Obviously, I don't have all of these totems kind of down or memorized what they all are. But I'm going to look this up for a second here. Okay, so it's saying that it appears when we need support, guidance, healing. So that's something that it brings. Okay, following your instinct, awareness of the importance of social connections, It can also symbolize fear and lack of trust. So that kind of goes along with the Zoisite and what they were talking about some fears coming up. And then it also says, pay attention to your intuition and what it's telling you. Expression of strong instincts. Okay, and instincts kind of feels like an intuition as well. Using your instincts and your intuition to grasp a situation well. It shows up. When it shows up, it could also be a call to use this capacity to deal with a recent challenge you are experiencing. Okay, so I feel like that's all that I'm going to read, but then the other really weird thing that I saw coming flying into my head was this picture of you. Whoa, I see this wolf kind of flashing on the wall. So that even feels almost like coming in even a little bit more permanently. So even as more of a kind of power animal, or like it's going to help you for a bit of a longer period, it still feels like more of a kind of temporary guide. It doesn't feel like a guide who's like always been there, but it doesn't only feel like a totem who's just really, really temporarily giving you a quick message and then, going back on its way. This feels a little bit still temporary, but a little bit more permanent than that. Like it's helping you with something creative that you are doing, and feels like it's going to be there for a while. It also feels like it's helping you with changes as you step into new energies, and get things kind of more financially stabilized, but it even feels like almost like being more grounded, like with where you live even, and being more in a more certain, stable kind of environment. So I don't know if you're moving apartments, or that's going to be happening, or if you're in a situation where you will do that. But it feels like something to do with that. And I also feel like even things like traveling, he brings like protection and kind of a stabilizing energy. I don't really want to say he, because this feels a little bit more like a she. And I kind of feel both though. Feels a little androgynous. For a second it feels like he, and then for a second it feels like a she. I feel like it can kind of take on either aspect. When you need one thing, it can feel really focused, and it can be either gender. It'll be focused with a current of energy, whether it's feminine or masculine, of what you need. But I feel like the focus is something that's always there. Whether it's focusing on multiple things or it's focusing on one simple thing at a time, I feel like it's helping you with that, with your focus, with your trust, fears, letting go of those, trusting what you need to do, and kind of owning, like your own stance on your life, owning your purpose, what you need to do, your own authority, that you know what to do, and trusting that, and owning that, And it feels like being structured even has to do with respecting your own time, your own effort that you've put in, and your time, and having respect for your time. And that's part of what being structured brings. It actually brings respect for your own time, you respecting yourself in that way, because you're not scattered and all over the place and just wasting time away. You're actually structured where there's a purpose to your day and your life in that sense, and you're getting things done. So you are recognizing the importance of your time, the importance of keeping your space clean, the importance of caring for yourself, meditating, doing whatever is going to help focus your mind. Okay, so getting to this other thing, this picture, as I was saying, that just kind of popped into my head out of nowhere before I began your reading. And so I was already playing the wolf music, and I had already kind of gotten the feeling of, okay, this is a totem specifically for you. But then I see this bear, but the picture was not only of a bear. It was you on a mountaintop, and you are sort of wrestling this bear. And I was like, okay, what is that image? But then the strange thing was, I'm sure you could not, obviously you couldn't ever have been actually wrestling a bear. It was literally like it was up on its hind legs and its hands are like this. And then you're on the other side. So the two of you are kind of creating this V where both of you have your hands in the air, like almost like you're high-fiving each other, but you're not. You're like fighting one another. Which obviously you would not do in this lifetime or any other past lifetime. But the weird thing is, I felt this feeling of a past lifetime with the image. That's what was kind of strange. And you were on this mountaintop. It was really snowy, and you had this fur all over you, this really thick fur around your face as well. And it made me think of an Inuit, like a native Alaskan person. What we would call an Eskimo. I don't usually use that term because I've heard that it's kind of, it can be thought of as a derogatory term to some people, like especially a native Alaskan. I've heard that. I don't really know, but that was the feeling of it. It felt like a native Alaskan with this image. But female. Feels like a female person. So I'm going to kind of ask them really quick, what is that about? But I feel like the bear is a totem as well. So I feel like that's something to kind of look up on your own. I felt like I should look up the wolf totem. But there are feminine energies coming in also with the wolf totem that I didn't really feel like that certain description was really getting into. But even it being very instinctual, intuitive, that's a very feminine thing. So it helps you with your creative side as well. But then you also have this bear. There's definitely a lot of masculine energies coming in with the bear. So you have this kind of, it feels like a balance. You have really feminine kind of animal coming in saying, let go of fear, lack of trust, trust your instincts, trust your guidance, your intuition, be creative. Then you have the bear coming in who has a lot of physical strength, physical stamina. The bear is really on guard, brings a lot of protection, healing. I feel like insight as well, but then also a groundedness, okay, connection to the earth. And I feel like some other things might come up for you specifically when you look at that totem animal. So that's something that you can kind of Google on your own, the bear totem meaning. Okay, so this is definitely a past lifetime, for sure. It feels like you are a hunter gatherer. And it feels like you are female, but it feels like in the lifetime you have a very masculine energy. You have a very masculine approach to things. And it feels like you're allowed to be that way. It feels like that's just how you are naturally. Um, it feels like you are doing some type of fishing. You're catching fish. It feels like um, it feels like you hold some female responsibilities, but then you also, it feels like you prefer holding a lot of masculine responsibilities as well. And so you just naturally do. And it feels like you're allowed to do that. You're kind of expected to do that in a way. Like, in other words, not that you would be expected to do that with your gender, but or that you're like expected to do that in that way, like you should do this thing, but expected to, like, yeah, we expect that of her, this is just so and so, how she acts, how she behaves, kind of thing. So people are just kind of expecting that behavior out of you, and so whatever, it's like, what, it's fine, it's whatever is coming out naturally, it feels like. um it definitely feels like you are a leader. Um, and it's strange. I get these two energies. Like, there's this energy almost like you're soft spoken, um, or quiet, but it feels like your words really carry this kind of weight, or authority. And it feels like you're definitely a female kind of leader in the tribe. Feels like you're creative as well. You're artistic in some way. That's definitely coming out, where you are like creating something, crafting something. But I don't feel like you make things like the clothes you're wearing, or something like that. I don't really feel like you are doing that. So these clothes that you have, or the shoes that you're wearing, I feel like someone else would have made those, and you are wearing them. But still, I feel like your creativity is coming out in some kind of way. Um, it definitely feels like there are like meetings, um, where you're talking, you're speaking, and again, it feels like you kind of, your voice carries weight. So it does feel like you have a kind of position, where you are listened to in the tribe. And it feels like you just kind of naturally carry that. and you're just expected to be that way. So this just feels like this is accepted. I also don't really feel like your specific tribe really has anything against women leading or anything like that. Different tribes were kind of different in that way. But this tribe really does not feel that way. It feels like you are kind of expected to lead because it's what you are naturally doing. And there might be some males who are naturally doing the opposite or inclined to more feminine things, and then that would just be expected as well with them. And it feels like it's thought of as more of an energy versus a physical form with some people anyway. So if it's really obvious that it's just kind of coming out in that way, then they just allow it. Almost like they don't want to go against the current, the natural strong tendencies of a person, or the current, the flow of a person. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you so much for allowing me to bring this message through. Once again, I truly hope that it benefits you. Namaste.